Welcome to Unfiltered Brew, Episode 4. I'm Deb Miles. Joining me is my good friend Kim Becker, founder of Hello Gorgeous.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hello, gorgeous.
Do you just love it when people say that?
I do. It makes me smile.
That's the whole reason that Mike wanted the name, was because it does. It just makes people smile.
It really
How can
does.
it not? I know.
We're talking about hair, of course, speaking of gorgeous, and people like my blonder hair, but I think it's higher maintenance. Do you think so?
No.
Why? Oh, I would be gray otherwise. I would.
So I'm going to use some fancy terminology on you. So when your hair grows back in, if you color your hair all over and you get that little line, we call that a line of demarcation. And if the color is darker and your gray is white, think about the contrast of like black pants and a white shirt. There's a lot of contrast in there. But think about the contrast between like brown pants and a yellow shirt. The contrast isn't as noticeable.
Oh, I never thought of that.
If you've got blonde hair and you've got your new growth that comes in is grayer or lighter, it actually shouldn't be as strong of a line of demarcation as what it would be if your hair were darker.
Well, I think it's because in the morning when I'm watching you, I'm usually trying to fix my hair. So I move my hairband back. And so my hair's pulled back. I'm staring in the mirror really close. And I'm thinking,
it's really, mine is prominent too. But, I always say there are tricks and tricks that you can do too, like make it fuller. Don't wear it away from your face, kind of wear it so that it's either straight down or towards your face if you get a little bit of that demarcation. There is something out there. It's kind of like a mascara, but for your hair.
I found it for my eyebrows.
Yeah. Okay. Did you? All right. Well, this is this is for your hair.
It'll take a long
so it's
time.
like in a mascara one, and you just touch it up like around your face. Now it washes out every time you wash your hair. But like if you had a special event going on and like I've got a little bit of demarcation right now, line of demarcation, I could get something and you just brush it on ever so slightly, and it just helps to blend that line in so it's not so prominent.
I might use what I use for my eyebrows.
I don't know. Okay, try it one time on a day you're not going out anywhere.
Well, for me, because I every time I try a new beauty product, it like keeps growing. There's one, then there's two, then there's three, then there's four.
Know. But I'm with you. If I like it, I want more than one. Do you know what I mean? Do you buy more of the same product?
No, it's all different because they all kind of go together. It's like
okay, that makes sense.
Okay, I got the eyebrows. Now I get how do I get rid of the mustache? Oh, maybe I can bleach that too.
I wouldn't bleach it. I wouldn't bleach it. They've got one of those little things now that are like the little shaver things that are like battery operated. If you bleach, I did that for a while, like when I was younger, and it darkens the skin. Yeah. So what you would do is get rid of the hair, but then create like a dyed mustache. So I wouldn't do that.
And then I went tanning.
Oh,
and so that kind of helped me as well.
I miss tanning.
It's probably not the best for me either, but that cost me because then I had to get lotion for that. Then after the lotion, I had to get a moisturizer.
Yep.
And then after that, I had to, it's I'm going down this rabbit hole
I know.
of beauty products.
I know.
And this is the result.
But I think the result is good. I don't know. I got to go back to the tanning. I always feel better with a little bit of color.
I do too.
Because I feel like my blub looks better when it's tan as opposed to it being white. That's just my personal opinion.
I think I look thinner when I'm tanner.
It's like wearing black pants. Of course we look thinner.
Right. If I look tanner, because people will say, you look good. You look different. So if I bleach the hair out I tan.
There you go. It's golden.
Look over here. Don't look over here. And definitely don't look back there.
Right? But I do. Oh my gosh. I feel so much healthier when I have a little bit of color on, and just getting that. I shouldn't tan anymore. I really have to.
No, you got to be careful. You really do. We're not condoning that.
No, I had a melanoma removed, so I have to be extremely cautious in order to be able to and to be out in the sun, which is hard for me. I actually said to a doctor over the weekend. I said, that's one, and it's vanity, and I understand that, but I really do feel, like I said, I feel better when my blub has a little bit of color to it, and when my face has a little bit of color to it. So I just have to find other ways. Have you tried any of those self tanners?
I was just going to say that's a disaster. First of all, I have to do it in the garage.
Yeah.
So anytime you have to leave your home to put a self tanner on, it's not going to be good.
No.
So I pull the car out of the garage and I put a tarp down, and then I go out there in my underwear.
Spray. Oh gosh, I do the lotion. I gotta
That's
hear
bad
about,
too.
Oh, well, it is bad, but I want to hear about your spray. Holy cow!
It turns out I don't really know my trajectory of when I spray it because I still see little splats of it on a wall.
Oh,
and I'm thinking I wasn't even near that wall when I was spraying it.
Yeah.
So maybe I should try. I've tried the other where you just pat it on with
the lotion.
Yes,
I think so. For me, so I used to when I did tan. There was a tanning lotion that had some of that self bronzer in it, so that way then you got darker faster.
Go. Yeah,
but the palms of my hands.
Oh, you got to put gloves
like
on.
they were like thing. Orange or dark.
Keep adding rabbit hole, going down the rabbit hole.
So if I buy gloves and then do the self tanner, then is everything going to look dark and not my hands?
Well, and then your hands are only so big. Right. So and my legs are big. So if I try and do the self tanner on my legs, there's going to be a spot missing. So here's what I thought I would do. I got those big old maxi pads with wings.
Okay.
And I put the self tanner on it.
And then you can just
wrap it on my leg. Wrap it around my leg, and it covers more of my leg when I'm trying to do it evenly.
Yeah. I have not tried that yet. I may have to give that. I was going to say a sponge, but maybe you're...
That's
maybe
one big sponge.
Is better.
I'd have to. Yeah, no, that'd be too big of a sponge. Either that, or I was going to get turned in an adult diaper inside out.
Well, right, that might work too because then it'll absorb it. I don't know how much product are we really wasting though when we do it that way. Have you? No, I haven't. No, I have not. I want to try spray tanning because I feel like that's a healthier way to do it. And I think it lasts a couple of weeks. But some of them, and I think they've come a long way with it. This was years and years and years ago when they would do it. You could just tell because it looked not real.
Well, and they have to pose.
Yeah. You
have to pose it, and you got to hurry and pose.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to miss it.
I'm not quick at this age.
Now, maybe it is different now, but I think spray tanning, it's got to be a spray somewhere.
Yeah.
Which means you got to keep moving and rotating evenly.
I think the salon that I'm thinking of that does it, the person moves.
Oh.
So it's not a machine. It's a real person, which means somebody has to see you in your underwear. So let's go there first. Yeah. Or something.
And which you got to pay a lot of money for. Because in my case, if somebody's seeing me naked, they have got to get one heck of a tip.
I think what I would do is get like a tube top. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's maybe something like that. But anyway.
Still, me in a tube top. I got to pay for silence. I got to pay somebody to do it so they won't go out there. Oh, that Deb Miles. I saw her in a tube top. Oh, boy.
Here, I'd like for you to sign a confidentiality agreement, please, before
non-disclosure agreement. Here you go.
That's right. That's right.
But the price to pay for beauty.
It's I know. And it's part of it, I guess, it is vanity. But the other part is, for me, I just feel better. Like, I feel better when my new growth is touched up. I feel better when my nails are painted.
I do too.
I feel better when I have a little bit of color. So for me, it's not necessarily vanity as much as it is. I just feel better about my appearance when I do those things.
I feel it's confident. It gives me confidence.
Yes.
And me out on the dating scene now, I can't tell you how many comments I have gotten from men who say, "Oh, I love your white nails.
Yes.
I love your nails. I love your lipstick."
Yes.
I'm thinking, So it does make a difference. Men notice this stuff, and they get and especially one very nice gentleman I'm seeing mentioned pink toes, and I said, "Well, I'll get pink toes." So I got pink, and I texted him. I said, "Well, I got my pink toes." I sent a picture. He goes, "Oh, how nice!" So every man has their thing, right?
That's right.
They have their thing.
I read an article once that said the first thing a person looks at are your eyes, and the second thing they look at are your hands.
Really?
Whether it's looking at men or women, whether it's looking for a wedding ring, whether it's looking for tan lines, whether it's looking for, but somebody will look at your eyes, and then the next thing now for me, I talk with my hands. So you probably have to look at my eyes and my hands all at the same time. Because you know what I mean? Because it's all.
Everybody gets dizzy.
That's right. Because it's all flying all over the place. But how wonderful that your gentleman friend actually paid attention to your nails and made a comment about your toes, where most guys are like, whatever.
Well, either you get the kind that are really creepy that have I only want red. I want red. Okay, that's the word you use that word because if I do, I start giggling. I start giggling with that word. But he's a very nice guy, and he's very smart, and he's very sweet, and he's just very, very nice to be around. I enjoy being around him. So whenever he says something, I kind of remember it. I think, okay, well, he likes pink, obviously.
Yes.
So I'll remember that. So now I have pink toes, and the next time I get my nails done, I'll get them done pink.
Well, there you go. I think that, and let's see if he makes a comment about it.
He might.
He might not.
Oh, a lot of them mention. Well, he listens to the podcast.
Okay, so he'll know to say something about your pink toes and your pink nails now.
or I don't know if he listens to the podcast. I think he listens because of me.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? He just started listening.
I know Tom listens too, and it's because of me.
Right, exactly.
Well,
but everybody should listen.
Because of us.
Absolutely, because of us.
That's right.
We say all kinds of things.
That's right.
But yes, and speaking of this gentleman, he's a very nice gentleman. I think the last time we talked, I was just conversing with him, and we did have a very nice date. We had a nice time, and it was just nice to have somebody who is, one, very educated and easy to talk to, and he was a little nervous too. I was a little nervous, but it just worked out well. Now, was it as good as I thought it was going to be? Because of me, I had to work, so I felt like I was chopping up the date.
Sure.
Because we went out to dinner, then we went to work, then I went to work, and then I saw him after, and then whatever. He stayed the night because he's from about an hour and a half away, but I did not stay the night there. But
you stayed separately.
Right. But, it was a first date, so you just don't, anyway. But we had a nice time.
What do you get? What's the thing you said that he was nervous and you were nervous? What is it that makes you nervous when you go on a first date?
Well, first of all, for me, I'm not used to having people that are touchy-feely.
Okay.
And he was very, and he said that. He goes, I'm going to put my arm around you. I'm going to try and hold your hand. And I like that. But
I was going to say I would like that too.
But I was a little resistant because that was my mindset. I was always with people that didn't like to do that.
Yes.
So I trained myself not to like it either, but I do like it.
Yeah.
I think it makes you feel very special.
And secure.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes when they just lay their hand on you or they do something, you feel secure.
And it's like that. Oh, yes, they do think I'm special.
Yes. Because he's not doing that with everybody in the room. He's just doing it with
but
you.
If he is, I'm walking. That's a red flag. That's a pink red flag.
I would say that would be a red flag too. Yes.
But so it went well. The only thing that probably went to dinner, and it was since he's not from here, I suggested the place, and it was graduation weekend here, so it was hard to find a place. Yeah. And we went and he ordered food and it wasn't cooked right. So I felt bad for him. So I gave him part of my steak.
Oh, yeah.
And then they recooked it and it was good. They were really good about it.
I was going to say, he probably didn't think, you couldn't control that. You may have controlled where you went, but you can't. Were you in the kitchen cooking the steak?
No.
All right. No, so I would say that's not your fault.
No, but I feel, because that's going to be always a memory of our first date.
Yeah.
But maybe not.
So what were 3 positive things about this gentleman?
He's cute. He's very nice. He is also very easy to be around.
Don't you find the older that we get that is, conversation is very important to me. Communication is very important to me. I've got to be able to sit next to you and be able to talk to you. But I agree with what you said, like an educational conversation.
Well, somebody who, I'm not a scholar myself. In fact, he has way more education than I do.
Oh, yeah.
But at least you can talk about current events.
Yes.
I'm not talking about political stuff, but I mean, in general, things that are going on. Yes. In fact, I find myself sometimes when I talk to him, I said, I should have said something smarter. Because I am smart. I should have said something smart.
You are smart. But I think sometimes we hold ourselves back too because we don't want to come off too smart. You know what I mean?
I've never had that happen, Kim. Never, ever in my life.
That's never been a fleeting thought in your mind. Shouldn't say that, I might. I might sound too smart.
I don't want to sound cocky about it, but you know what? I don't think I could ever do that.
Well, I love that. I love that. So, is a second date on the plan?
I'm hoping so, but we have so much going on now because he has a lot of work. And then I'm going on a trip, and then he's going on a trip with his sons.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully, yes.
Okay.
Because here's what I said. Because I thought, well, the holiday weekend's coming up. I might take a little ride there, and I've got cousins and stuff that I should see, and I can make a little couple-day trip out of it. But he had other plans with family, and I totally get that. And I thought, okay, but I would love to accept that. So I'm thinking, yes, there is going to be. It's just a matter of time before we can coordinate all that.
So if this goes forward, so for me, I think I dated Tom for almost 2 months before I introduced him to any of my family and to my son.
I'm kind of, I don't want to scare them away.
Well, I don't think you'll scare them away, but if this proceeds, like at what time frame would you feel comfortable about meeting like his family, let's say?
My job, I have to meet people all the time. So I don't know if there's a specific time. Okay. I would imagine probably about 2-3 months, 3-4 months, maybe. I don't know. Whatever he's comfortable with. Yeah, but the reason why somebody wouldn't meet my family, I don't have a lot left, and a lot of them are nutty, to be frank about it.
We all have that. We all have that.
And they're embarrassing sometimes. And they know who they are, because we've had this discussion this week, the whole week, about...
You know I'm talking about you.
Because they're going to listen and they're going to giggle, because we do this every time. Certain parts of my family are like this. But I that's some of those things you got to you'll know when it's right, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, another question.
Yes.
How many outfits did you try on before you went on your date?
Oh, geez. Well, luckily, that's another thing. I had to wear a station T-shirt.
Okay.
For part of it.
Okay.
So I made sure I had jeans and I switched shirts, and then I switched back. And I think I tried on maybe about 4 different shirts.
Okay, well, that's not too bad. So not half your closet.
No, and that's another thing. I think as I get older, I'm thinking, what am I comfortable in? What do I know? What are my go-tos that I know I look good in?
Yep.
And I know that I won't be tugging it or pulling it or wondering where it's at, or
or how do I look in it, or whatever.
Whether I put, it's better just to wear something. So I do put things out. I'm like a fireman. When it comes with clothing, sometimes I have it setting out, ready to go, because that way I can jump in them and I'll be ready to go.
Right. But I also feel better when I'm prepared. Mm-hmm. Like I know what it is that I'm gonna.
Now, another question that I was going to ask you about this. He didn't come into my house, because he just came to pick me up, and because I have the dogs there, and I didn't want to hurry up and have the dogs, because they do jump on people sometimes. So I thought, well, for a first date, the second date he can come in, that'll be fine. But do you think I should have let him come in?
I don't. You're brave, because on my first dates, I'm like, I'll meet you there.
See, I thought this guy was very nice.
Yeah, the first dates, even with Tom, when I met him for the first time, we met there. Other gentlemen that I dated before I met Tom, it was always, where do you want to meet? For me, I'm an escape artist. If something's going bad, I want to be able to have my car there, that I can text somebody and say, if he gets up and goes to the bathroom and this is not going well, I want to say, call me with an emergency. And then when I'm so sorry, something's come up, I have to go. I don't want to, things are going bad, it makes me uncomfortable. And that's just the type of person I am. So if something like that is going bad, I'm like, I just need to be able to go, and I need to know that I've got my car there so I can leave.
Well, usually I'm like that, but for some reason I got a good vibe with this.
Okay, well, that's good.
And it turned out to be true. I mean, he brought me this beautiful, because he's a plant scientist, so he brought me this plant, and I planted. But I mean, he was very nice about everything. So I felt kind of bad that I didn't actually let him in, but I thought, well, no, first steps first.
Yeah, I agree with you,
because I've had those horrible dates. My worst date I ever had was a guy. He told me he was a delivery man.
Oh boy!
So we met up in Michigan. Okay, remember when they used to have this is about 20 years ago, maybe. They had the big boys.
Oh yeah, I want to say Azars, but
this was up in Three Rivers, Michigan. I don't know if you know, but I went there, and across the street there was one of those no-tell motels. Okay, with a big deer with the light on its eye. In its eye, and I was dressed up. I had blue flat shoes that matched my blue shirt. I walked in there, and I looked at him, and he wasn't what he said he was. But I thought, you know what? It doesn't matter. Just
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt.
So I sat down, and he goes, well, "What would you like to eat?" I said, I'll just get a hamburger, plain ham." He goes, "You know what? You're cute. Why don't you order the platter?" I don't know if that was a joke, or if he wanted to. Other $2.99. You want to split?
Maybe you wanted to split your fries, and maybe he was hoping for leftovers. I don't know.
And then he says, "Well, excuse me." Then he got up. He went to the bathroom, and he had all his clothes. His pants were all dirty.
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't.
Well, now I'm not saying you have to be dressed up or anything, but clean would be nice.
No. Let's back it up.
Okay.
You got one chance to make a first impression.
That's true.
I disagree with you. No, if you're not going to wear clean clothes the first time you're going to meet me, guess what? You're probably not going to wear clean clothes.
It gets worse. So I thought already, okay, well, I already ordered the platter. My fries and cottage cheese are coming with the burger. So this is going to be the fastest platter I've ever eaten.
Yeah. I'm going to swallow it.
Right. Well, as I'm eating, I see him look at me and smile with food in his mouth.
Oh.
And then we were by the window, and all of a sudden he turns his head and looks at me. Then he starts nodding his head towards the motel. He goes, well, looks like we have someplace to go after our meal.
Oh, my gosh.
I looked at him, and I immediately just put the burger down, grabbed my purse, and I ran. I got out of that booth so fast. I ran so much that gravel parking lot, I lost one of my blue shoes, and I didn't stop. I left my blue 9 West shoe.
Somebody that has a blue 9 West shoe, now you know where it came from if you found it in this parking lot.
I'm not Cinderella, I know, but I couldn't run fast enough. I got in that car and I would have peeled out of that parking lot.
See, and those are the nightmares that I think about, which is why when I was dating, I'm like, listen, I'm an independent woman. I have not Tom opens the door for me and does all the things.
Which is nice.
Which is very nice. Yes, very nice. But I'm still, you know what? I'm independent. I can drive myself there. It was a control thing for me and a safety thing too. So
yes.
Yeah, you're brave.
Right. But I don't know. I should have learned from that. I haven't learned anything, but I've been lucky. Now, had my mother still be alive, she would be quizzing me on this all the time. So I would be reminded. But I just felt this, the guy I went out with, he was very nice. And I felt, I've got neighbors that care.
Yeah.
So I could always yell if I needed it, but I didn't need it. Again, it was just a very good experience.
So as you go through this process, I know for me, I'll get your answer and then I'll tell you mine. I am finding, do you feel that it is what it is? Like when you get there on the date, like you're not trying to be somebody that you're not. It is what, accept me for who I am kind of thing, as opposed to like putting on airs and making it that you're somebody that you're not. How do you feel like when you show up to this date? How do you show up?
When I tell somebody what I do, and especially if they're from this, I'm a radio host. I've been on the radio for 40 years, 38 years, 25 years at one station here in South Bend. So people know me.
Yes.
If they listen, they know me. So they automatically sometimes get very nervous, or they want to try and overtalk and try and do this. So I never tell them what I do right away, or I just tell them and get it out of the way and just see how they act. Well, he acted perfectly. He was fine. But myself, I feel like I have to, not that I'm different from the persona. I am who I am on the air, off the air.
Yes, you are.
But I feel that it's my job to kind of put people at ease. So do I put on airs? No. But I kind of watch what I say and do just so they're not critiquing me and saying, oh, that Deb Miles.
Yeah.
She did this or she did that. Because I don't think of myself as a celebrity.
Yeah,
but
me neither.
People do.
Yes.
Other people think of us as that.
Yeah, I agree.
So you have to realize, put your mindset in what they're thinking. Now, you can't control what they say or do after you meet them. But I also, with age, this is me. This is what I am.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I don't want to put on air. I don't want to pretend like I'm too old.
It's too exhausting.
And it's exhausting to show up and to try and be something that I'm not. I may schmutz on my shirt. That's just, it doesn't happen all the time, but there are times when I schmutz on my shirt. I hope it doesn't happen on a first date, although I hope I don't have any more first dates, but
you're done with those.
I'm done with those. But it's very interesting when you say about telling this gentleman who you were. I normally didn't. And part of it for me, but you were a widow too. Part of it for me was I did tell people that I was a widow, thinking that they didn't have to worry about a crazy ex in the picture. So that was the first reason. Mm-hmm. Although I did tell one gentleman tell me that was harder to date a widow than it was anybody else because they felt like they were always being compared to a ghost. So I thought that was interesting. And they couldn't ever go against that persona. But the other thing was I didn't tell people like who I was or, that I was a founder of this national nonprofit or anything. I didn't tell them that, but it was very interesting. I remember for whatever reason, like one of the second phone conversations I had with Tom, it just, I'm like, well, here's what I do. And here's the website and, check it out. And like he did, like he checked it out. He bought 2 of the books. He listened to the podcast for a long time. The ringtone on his phone was like the entry thing into the podcast that I had. And I was like,
wow,
I know. It was so cool. But I was like, I said to him, I'm like, I normally don't tell people who I am and what I do because I don't want, same thing. I want to keep you at ease. I don't want you to think that I'm this big person. Although when you meet me, you kind of find that there's a big personality that's inside of there. So that's kind of hard to hide.
Yes, but it's the one thing to have a big personality. It's another thing to be obnoxious, and you're not.
Agreed. No,
you're wonderful, and you're very open and welcoming. And that's what I try and be too, because you don't know what people think about you before they meet you.
Correct. And I think that's it, right? I'm with you. So, I do a ton of public speaking, and we just came back from Pennsylvania because I did a ton of speaking at a hair show. And I always said that was the person I wanted to be. The person that you see on stage is the same person that I am when I walk off that stage. Somebody had once tried to tell me, you need to be cartoon Kim, where you're one person on stage and then, this bigger than life. And I'm like, well, I already am kind of a bigger than life personality, but I that's not who I want to be. I want you to be, I want to be that same person that you see up there. That's right down here that I want people to say the same thing about you, right? You're the same person off the air that you are on the air. That's exactly what I want to be.
Because it's too exhausting to try and have this facade. And I've seen people in this business do it. I've been in this business a long time. And to see people, act and talk a certain way. And then when they're talking to somebody else, a listener or somebody in the public, it's something else. And that's too exhausting. I couldn't keep track of what I said and did. So I just say and do what I think I'm going to do anyway.
That's right. That's right. Just be authentic.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And what's exciting about this, we're talking about all this dating and everything and beauty. You've got your wedding coming up.
I know. I can't believe it.
It's coming up soon.
It's coming up very soon. And I am, and same thing, right? You talk about like dating when we're older. Same thing about getting married when I'm older. The things that were important to me back in my 20s when I got married, they're not important now, right? And the only reason that Tom and I didn't elope was because I love him so much. I want to celebrate him with all my family and friends.
I can't wait.
I want all of these people around to I want to share the love, right? And I hope, and I don't know about you, but I hope that somebody will be inspired by my love story. I got lucky twice, right? I really did. I mean, marrying Mike was one of the best decisions that I ever made. He was an incredible man. And watching my son care for his girlfriend now, I look at it and I'm like, your dad used to care for me the same exact way. Now to have Tom, I'm so fortunate to meet these 2 amazing men.
Different chapters in your life.
Yes, it's different chapters. But I hope that I get to inspire somebody that just because I had the best once doesn't mean that when that ended, that the best wasn't there again. Do you know what I mean? That I wasn't able to get this amazing man a second time around. And so I really do hope that that's part of it.
I believe it's what you throw out there in the universe. With you. If you throw out good stuff, because my best friend, she always tells me this. She says, you've got to be more positive. You got to be more positive. You got to do this, because that's what's going to come back. I agree. That's what's going to come back to you.
And they talk about, I'm a faith person anyway, right? So I talk about God, and in the scriptures, right? It says people without a vision, they perish. You've got to have a vision for whatever that looks like. So I love it that we're able to do that. And
I just got a text from my man.
Oh, I wondered why your face lit up the way that it did. You'll have to text me and say we're talking about it.
I shouldn't say my man like
that. Possible.
And that means something else. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm thinking. Okay, I'm coming to your wedding, and I'm going to send the RSVP. Should I put 2?
Well,
I don't know, but then I don't want to feel bad if I come by myself and I put 2 down. You're going to waste a meal.
So why don't you ask somebody to come with you so that you don't waste a meal?
Okay. You got anybody you can fix me up until my date? If I did,
just in case. I know. Let me look at my Rolodex.
Well, I'm just asking because I thought, if there's a chance, because a wedding is a good thing to bring somebody.
It is, because you get an idea of who they are because they're in a room where you'll know people and they won't necessarily know people. Yeah. But it is a good, but there's time to be, you get that talk time where it's just the two of you, but then it's a big fun time too. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's a good time. You get to know somebody.
I'm excited for you. I am I'm going to start crying. I love you, and Tom is wonderful, and I just am so happy. She is just glowing over here, more than usual, glowing, and I just think it's wonderful, and I cannot wait. I know there's so many people that love you, so many people that only want the best for you, but I just like to watch because everybody that comes up, whenever I say your name anywhere, even to the dog groomer, I say the name and they go, "Oh yes, Kim, we love Kim." And people say that about me sometimes.
Yes,
when
they do.
But it's kind of funny to hear it from somebody else coming back at you.
Yes.
I said, "Oh yeah, Kim. Oh, I love Kim. Yeah." But I said, "Oh good. Okay, fine. Are you going to help me?"
I love her too. What can you do for me?
Well, no, I mean, I'm paying for it, but it's a good icebreaker, is what I'll say that.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, because we're going to hear all about the wedding, of course, but this is going to be the June. So maybe we'll plug in a little something extra before July.
Sounds good.
And you can hear all about this. But definitely, this is the episode 4. It is June. Unfiltered Brew. If you like the podcast or you don't like the podcast, let us know. There's something you may not like about it.
Well, but if you've got a friend that is in their, late 40s, early 50s, and they're dating right now, and you think that some of the conversation that we've had could help your friend, make sure that you share this podcast with them, because they may find it helpful.
Or maybe we didn't have enough of the male perspective.
That's right.
Let us give us more male perspective. We'd love to hear it.
That's right.
So we know we're always right.
What you think about when you go on a first date, men. That would be interesting.
Red lips.
Red toes.
And you know what? Buy them the platter, but don't ask for anything more.
Don't nod at the hotel across the street.
Don't nod at the deer with the green light eyeball.
That's right.
Don't do that.
That's right.
But please, you can get a hold of me. I'm Deb, DEB at B100.com, Deb at B100.com, Instagram, Deb5291. Kim, how can they get a hold of you?
Instagram is Kim Becker Inspires. That's my tagline there. And then if you have any questions, you can email me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org.
All right. Thank you very much, Kim. Once again, congratulations. This is fantastic. It goes so fast when we're talking. I love it. But again, if you have any comments, please let us know. And thank you so much for listening, and share this and tell people about this. Unfiltered Brew, wherever you find podcasts, B100.com or Apple or Spotify. We're on all the platforms, so you can check it out. And thank you very much. Thanks, Kim.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.